hard times and has reached out to the Foreign Minister with statements published by the Western Australia Myanmar Democratic Network.
Mingla. First, can I extend a very, very warm welcome to my other parliamentary colleagues, Janine Freeman and Anne Ali, who will be very, very familiar to many of you, and to congratulate the Myanmar Democratic Network on putting on yet another very, very important rally. And it's fantastic to know, I think we've got some people from as far away as Katanning. So very, very warm welcome to those people who have come all the way from Katanning. And it's great to see that the weather hasn't dampened your spirit, our spirit, to stand up for democracy in Burma. Now is the moment. Now is the moment. Just in the last 2 weeks, while I've been in Canberra, I've had the opportunity over Zoom to talk to Burmese members of Parliament to find out what we can be doing in Australia to better support them. In addition to that, have presented some of the letters that you have written to me to the Foreign Minister, making sure that your government in Australia understands what you want it to be doing on this very, very critical matter for international relations. In addition to that, parliamentarians in your federal parliament are now working to think about what we can do to send a united voice, a message into the region, a message into Burma and a message into the United Nations, so that people understand that Australians reject the military coup in Burma, and Australians want to see the good work that had been going on, that was encouraging Burma on the path to democracy. We want to see that restored. We want to see that restored. So this is our moment now. Myanmar's ambassador to the United Nations had the courage to say, this is not right. Multinationals are now standing up to publicly reject and oppose the human rights violations in Burma. These are good first steps. They're doing that in large part because rallies like this in Perth and in other parts of our country, indeed across the world, are saying to the military rulers that you are not going to be able to get away with this time like you have done before. And social media is so very, very, very critically important, because people need to know in Burma that they're not protesting alone and that they're being supported in free countries like Australia and others throughout the world. This is a critical time. This is the time to continue to make your voice louder, to sign the petitions, to send the letters to people like myself and Anne Ali, and let politicians know in this country but around the world that this is not how we see democracy in 2021, that the military coup should not go unanswered, and this is the time to restore democracy in Myanmar and to free civilian leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just the beginning, but when we stand with a single, united voice, we will be triumphant. That is not to underestimate the enormity of the challenge, but we can and will do this. Thank you very much. Thank you. Ray has a very important message to pass on.
In this statement, Australia Federal Association Puma Pibare, Jesu Timare. Dr. Sidiya, Ludo Man, Dr. and Elimas, Ganning, Yoame, Uma, Luke in a better video.
I would now like to invite our special guest speaker, Dr. Anne Ali, who is a federal member of Parliament and strong advocate for human rights, to give a short speech.
Thank you. Thank you, my friends. This morning we wake up to more news of brutal murders in the military coup, but the illegal military coup. It's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. But it lifts our spirits to come here today together to raise our voices to reject the military coup in Myanmar. And we stand here on the steps of democracy in Australia. And every person who believes in freedom, who believes in democracy, who believes in basic human rights, has a responsibility to stand up against the coup in Myanmar. And as Senator Dean Smith said, now is a critical moment. Now is the time to raise your voices. Now is the time for all of us to come together. Now is the time to say no. We don't accept this. And we stand with you. Senator Dean Smith stands with you. I stand with you. Janine Freeman stands with you as your voices in Parliament. Because everybody who believes in freedom, everybody who believes in democracy should shout loud and clear, no! We do not accept this. Myanmar deserves democracy. Myanmar deserves freedom. Myanmar deserves to reject the military coup. And you will have our voices, along with your voice, to rise up. And together we can make a difference. As Senator Dean Smith said, keep writing to us. Keep talking to us. And we will keep being your voices. We will keep raising your voice in the Parliament to make sure that every government that believes in democracy and freedom, the democracy and freedom that we take for granted here in this country, every government that believes it speaks loudly and strongly in the strongest possible terms to condemn the military coup in Myanmar. Thank you.
Thank you, brother and Ellie. အခုနောက်ဆက်ပြောချင်တာကတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့အခုမိုးရွာနေတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့တိုင်းတိုင်းဒီလိုမှမတွေအားလုံးစူးစူးစီနေတဲ့ဒီကိုလာပေးကြတဲ့အတွက်ကျွန်တော်အားလုံးလေးစားပါတယ်ဆိုတော့အခုနောက်ထပ်အစီအစဉ်ကကျွန်တော်တို့မြန်မာပြည်မှာတန်ဖုံးတီးတဲ့ဟာတွေလုပ်နေတာကိုသိကြမှာပါအဲဒီတန်ဖုံးတီးနေတာဟာဘာကြောင့်ကျွန်တော်တို့လုပ်ရလဲဆိုတာနောက်မျိုးဆက်တွေသိရတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ English version နဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့အနေနဲ့ရှင်းပြပေးပါမယ်ပြီးလို့ရှိရင်တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့တန်ဖုံးဆိုတဲ့ဒီကိုအားလုံးအတူတူကသိစေကြရအောင်နော်